I'm here with Peter Brown of Tiny & Sons Glass. Thanks for joining us here at the Plymouth Show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Tell us more about Tiny & Sons. I see you at all the networking events. I see you at the Chamber of Commerce. What's your company about?
Our company is a family-owned business. We've been in business since 1976. My father has been in the glass business since '59. We're a mobile auto glass and repair service out of Pembroke.
So it's auto glass exclusively?
Yes,
that's your thing?
Auto glass repair and replacement, yep.
So how about if I have a big SUV or a truck? I mean, is it like all makes and models?
Yep, we do everything up to like a 10,000-pound truck.
Okay.
A lot of the motorhomes and buses we're not capable of doing, but anything smaller than that we can do.
And that's why it's called Tiny & Sons?
Correct.
Just
It's true, it's true.
So your dad was tiny?
Yep.
And you know, what's the story there?
He played football. He was undefeated in Braintree from 54 to 57 or 58. He was a linebacker. He was 6'5", 325. And
wow.
He was one of the biggest players on the team, and that was his nickname.
Okay,
Tiny, yeah.
cool.
And it just stuck. Yeah.
So I know you service Plymouth,
yes,
along with many other towns.
We service from Boston to Hyannis.
Wow,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. So do you have a personal connection to Plymouth, or?
Yes, I'm vice chair this year for the Plymouth Chamber.
Oh, wow.
So I've been in the Plymouth Chamber for probably 15 years now. So, and a third of my business is from Plymouth.
A third of it?
A third
okay,
of it, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a big town.
Yeah, yes it is.
Yeah, we always have to ask them what exit are you off of. It's like going through Connecticut. You know, it's like, I'm off of exit 3. Okay, that's great.
You know, I had a relative that used to say, I grew up in Connecticut,
yeah,
and you know, we'd sometimes go up to New Hampshire, and they would say it would be a short trip if it weren't for Massachusetts.
Right,
and
exactly, yeah. But that's what keeps us in business, because Massachusetts roads are very nice for auto glass replacements. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
so your business must be booming lately.
Yes, since the Big Dig. So
tell me more about that.
The Big Dig, you had 100 trucks a day bringing sand from Boston to the Cape, and some of the loads weren't covered, and
okay,
a lot of glass business. So
did you lobby for that project? Just kidding.
Every day. Yeah.
You were the happy beneficiary of it.
Yeah, I have Matt Moritori's cell phone number, and
that's right.
Yeah. Hey, that bill's coming up. We got to pay. Let's vote for that. That's right.
So let me ask you. I mean, I know I've had windshields replaced. Is it usually? It's usually the windshield, right?
Yeah. Well, now we can repair them. So if you get those nicks, those small, smaller than a quarter, as long as it's not in your line of vision, we can repair it. But the replacement, it's not that bad. It's about an hour and a half.
Okay.
2 hours, but now the newer cars are getting more complicated because you have the lane assist, the driver assist mechanisms. They're all attached to the glass.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so we have a lot of technology that we have to keep up on. So we're constantly retraining our people.
Where do you learn that kind of stuff?
I'm actually on the Auto Glass Safety Council, so I get a lot of the information.
Wait. You just like throw that out like everybody knows what that. No, I'm just laughing. There's councils for everything now.
Yeah,
is this a national?
National. It's there's 10 of us that are on the e-board, and we actually research and learn all the new technology so that we can do the installations.
Huh. You never know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
So what's the funniest story, or maybe not funniest? What's the oddest situation you've come across in terms of how someone got their glass shattered?
Well, there's an ad that we do on one of the radio stations we advertise on, WATD in Marshfield, and it's called the Frozen Duck ad. And there was these two kids that they were going out for Thanksgiving. They wanted, instead of turkey, they wanted a duck. So they got the frozen duck. So football season, they're passing the duck back and forth. They throw the duck, it goes through the mother's windshield. That was the strangest story.
Oh, that's
yeah. I mean, I could tell you a bunch of other stories, but we're on camera. But
okay.
That's the G-rated one, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stories about broken windows. Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
So do you have... I mean, I'm just thinking, you have told me before you have 2 locations.
Yes.
And what does the location consist of? Is it just like a windshield inventory? I mean, I don't even know.
Our main location is in Pembroke.
Okay.
We're right on Route 53. It's 575 Washington Street. We're right across the street from Dairy Twist. If you know that, there's the pink truck out front.
Okay.
And then there's Dishes Tavern right next door to us that used to be the old Bobby Hackett's. We've been there for almost 4 years now. The second location, we just moved in with Cape Auto Body in Plymouth.
Sure. Yeah.
So we have, it's like a satellite location.
Are you over at their maintenance or their repair shop?
We're over at their body shop.
The body shop,
Yep.
okay.
And we moved in there this would be our second year coming up.
Okay.
It's working out perfect.
That's
because we do a lot of mobile work in Plymouth, but when the weather is bad, especially during the winter and when it rains, they can drop it off there and we can do it there.
Okay.
So then I can be.
So, I mean, how many different, I know if I'm in the tire business, there's probably, when I get a request, there's certain standard tires, and then if there's a special car, I have to order it, and it comes later in the day or the next day. Is it the same for windshields?
Yeah, we have 3 warehouses that we deal with, so we can get up to 7 deliveries a day. So pretty much 80% of the cars we can cover in one day.
Okay.
But now a lot of the new cars with the specialty options on them, like a lot of the driver assist and lane avoidance and stuff, we have to order that. So it's usually like 3 days out.
So, are you actually the mechanism is brought to the new windshield?
Yes.
Or,
yes.
Okay.
So,
wow. That's a whole different.
I noticed that that like the BMW, there's a BMW in the parking lot. She has a rain sensoring system on her car.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of the newer vehicles have that, and then they have the lane avoidance where it tells you to slow down or speed up. So a lot of that is built into the glass now, or it's connected to the glass.
Yeah. I remember in the old days when there was no such thing as the wires for the defroster.
Yeah.
That was probably a big change in your business.
Yeah.
One of the things that I find most interesting in the remaining time that we have together is you've been in business a long time.
Yeah.
If you knew then what you know now, what advice might you give budding entrepreneurs who want to have a business of their own like you do?
Get involved. Like when we first started in business, my father was involved with the Lions, the Boy Scouts, youth sports, anything in the town. He was a call firefighter. He was Smokey the Bear for 7 years. So, so you have to get involved. And I don't think I would change anything. I would do the exact same thing now, and I do now that I did that. Well, my father did that.
So in other words, you're your best salesperson and get involved so people know you.
Yeah, you and I were talking about that off camera, and my father used to always sell, if you can't sell yourself, what can you sell?
Yeah.
And that's the key, is that when you start your business, you have to be out there in front.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Peter. I
thank you.
really appreciate it. It was
awesome.
great getting to know you.
Thank you.